Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty interesting. This whole idea of admiring famous people.
Hmm.
It actually came from a listener who wanted us to talk about an admired public figure. Aiming for something thoughtful but still easy to follow.
Yeah, and what's fascinating right off the bat is that the request itself kind of highlights this core human thing looking up to others, especially people in the public eye.
Exactly. So instead of just picking one person, we thought, let's unpack the act of admiration itself. Like what draws us to certain
Who
figures.
makes them compelling?
Right. What earns that respect or
Mm.
sometimes, that really intense interest. And maybe the big one. What does who we admire tell us about ourselves?
Ooh, that's a key question.
Yeah.
Is it purely about like their achievements we see, the public persona?
Or is it something deeper?
Yeah. Or does it connect to our own values, maybe our own aspirations?
Okay, let's try and dig into this a bit. Think about someone famous you admire. Could be anyone, an artist, scientist, athlete. What's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it just raw skill? Or maybe how tough they are? Their impact?
Well, often it seems like a mix, doesn't it? You see the incredible talent, sure, but it's frequently tied to their character too.
Like how?
Like how they handle challenges, maybe their dedication, seeing them push through stuff,
Yeah. Right.
sometimes even seeing their, vulnerabilities.
Yeah, that rings true. We definitely see the highlight reel, the successes, but it's often those behind the scenes stories, isn't it? The struggles they overcame. That's what really sticks.
Right. It's almost like we see a bit of possibility for ourselves in that, or qualities we wish we had more of.
So it's not just passive observation then. It feels like this admiration thing is more personal.
Exactly. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, who we admire can function almost like a compass.
A compass. How so?
Pointing towards the values and ideals that matter to us. The people who inspire us often embody the very things we're striving for, consciously or not.
Huh. So when we admire someone famous, we're not just looking at them. We're kind of catching a reflection.
Yeah, a glimpse of what's important to us, what we're aiming for in our own lives, perhaps.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the choice of who grabs our attention and the specific things we zoom in on about them. That can reveal quite a lot about our own inner landscape.
Our hopes, beliefs.
Hmm. Even those sort of deep-seated longings we might not always put into words.
Okay, let's get really specific for a second. Say you admire a scientist for their relentless curiosity.
Right.
Does that maybe hint at how much you value learning and discovery yourself?
It could, yeah. Or if you're really drawn to an artist who connects with people emotionally through their work.
Does that suggest maybe you crave deeper connection?
Hmm.
Or perhaps there's a creative spark in you wanting out?
These are the kinds of fascinating questions admiration can open up. It takes it beyond just, oh, they're famous.
And into personal meaning, self-understanding.
Exactly.
What?
But can that compass ever lead us astray? Is there a downside to putting people on pedestals?
Ah, that's a really important angle too. We should probably touch on that maybe next time. But for now, what's the main takeaway here?
I think it boils down to this. The famous people we look up to aren't just these distant figures out there.
They become symbols.
Powerful symbols, yeah. Reflecting our own values, our aspirations, what we want to achieve, or who we want to be.
So the act of admiring someone is actually, well, it's a pretty useful way to check in with yourself.
Definitely. By thinking about who inspires you and digging into the why, you get a clearer sense of your own North Star,
Your guiding principle.
the ideals that, steer your ship.
Okay, let's wrap up this deep dive on admiration then.
Yeah. The main thing to remember is admiring someone famous isn't just about them. It's deeply personal. It shines a light back on your own core values, your hopes, and the qualities you find truly compelling.
And here's a final thought to chew on. Really consider the famous people you admire. What specific aspects of their life, their work, their character, what really resonates? And what might that tell you about your own North Star? Definitely some food for thought there. Thanks for diving deep with us today.